Screen is visible and my audio is clear.
All good.
Okay, then let's start that. So today we are going to work on these things. So what is it? One is we talk about interacting with the web page. That too, we'll talk about how to play with a login form, automating a login form with Python. Of course, we already did this with the Java, but the same thing we are going to do with the Python, nothing more than that. So this is the website we are going to use for today's demo. Okay. So this is actually open something like some orange HRM, but it's fine. We can use this for practice purpose. So what we do is we'll try to automate this login form. What we have to do is we should try to enter admin username and then password. We should pass credentials and then submit it. So after that, once we submit, it has to navigate to the other page. So it has to go to this page. So this is what we should do here. That's all. So some other page is there, some dashboard kind of thing. So we have to navigate to this dashboard. That's all, friends. So, but that the first thing is we should do the automation on this login page using our Python automation. Okay, shall we start now? So for that, what we need to do? We need to okay. So first thing is what are all things we need to do? Here we have first thing we should go to our this thing or not this one. Sorry, we don't need Eclipse because we are not doing Java automation, but we are doing Python automation. So close all this. For now, you don't need all this. We can close them. Close all tabs. Okay. Now what we do is try to create a simple program or a file. Anything should be fine. So this is for web locators. We already discussed about different web locators. Okay, about ID, about what else is that with name or with there are many examples we had tested in the last session. So we can see here these are all different things. So now create one more. I mean, if you want, we can create a Python package itself. Sorry, you. So you can say web elements automation. Now we are going to test different web elements. So web elements, now we are going to do login form automation. So login form automation. This is a simple use case. So for this, what we have to do is we need some login form page, and then we have to find how many web elements are here are present. Here we have text box, two text box. Usually for login form, we have username and password, and then we have a button. So we need to automate all these three different web elements. This means we are going to cover altogether with this particular automation. We are going to we get an idea about all this. We get idea about multiple web elements. One is text boxes. We get idea about how to automate what shall we say a text box, and then also we check to automate buttons. So this also gives us an idea. This automation gives us an idea how to apply automation for button and how to apply automation for text box. Of course, this doesn't include so this checkbox and radio button. This is for next this thing. So, but these are the what is that? So for today, we see login form automation, and this covers what is this? What all different web elements login form automation. So that is one thing. And also this gives us an idea. This involves web elements like text box and button. There is a small typo. Yeah. So first you get an idea about how to automate these web elements. That is one thing. What are those web elements? Text box and button. And after that, it gives us we jump to checkbox and radio button. In that way, we'll try to understand almost all different web elements like drop down lists, single select drop down boxes, and multi select drop down boxes. In that way, we try to cover almost all web elements in a web page so that it helps you to do automation independently without any issues. Okay. In that, we try to cover as much scenarios as possible. We'll try to do this automation. Okay. So this is the simple idea. So let's start login form automation. So first thing is in your this thing, in your automation this thing, first add all that basic statements which we need to do automation, like importing this regular modules. So what you do, try to import these modules here. So let me just open. So these are important. These two are by very important for us. Of course, these as well. So first add this to your automation script, all the modules that are needed to add to automation script. This is not needed. You can close it. So now you can add this here. Or okay. So this is one thing. So what is that? Adding or importing your this modules, whatever modules that are needed, we imported. Our packages are modules that is needed for automation. We imported them. We imported WebDriver keys as well as by module, all this. Okay. Then what else do you need? These are common statements. For automating, we can do automation with test our automation with browsers like Chrome or Edge or Internet Explorer or anything. So even these two statements will be common. So I am copying and pasting them as is. So what is the purpose of this? Now we are trying to do the automation or implement automation using Chrome browser. So we are creating a Chrome driver here, object for Chrome driver. So that is one thing. And then get method is common. And this time we are just trying to test URL for this one. What is that? Let us just so the website or web page we are testing is from this website. So I copied that URL and then passed that login form, whichever we want to automate here. Right. And then we are applying some sleep here for 5 seconds so that once that page is loaded, it will just wait for 5 seconds before going further with that next steps in the automation. I hope you are clear till this. So till this, it will be same for almost all the projects we are implementing in throughout our Selenium automation with Python. So these statements will be same. Now what we are doing now the next steps is locating so this is login form. So we should locate this username text box and then password text box. And then we try to pass values to this text box, and then we should locate button and then click on that button. For these two, the actions are we need to pass values for these two text boxes. So the actions we need to do is locate these text boxes and then pass values. So that is the action we need to do. For this button, locate button and perform click action. So these are the so for button we should perform click action. For text boxes we should perform passing values. That is the action which keyboard action is pass values or send keys. Okay, so this is the idea, friends. Hope you are clear now. So what we do, right? We try to locate now, locate for a login form. So as we are doing login form automation, I'm just giving you a clear picture here itself. What is that we should do here? We should locate this text box I'm giving algorithm here, quick, a simple algorithm and pass values, pass username and password. Okay, that is one thing. Next after that is locate button and perform, click on that button. So this is another operation. Okay, what you should do, perform click on button. Now simple, these are all simple things, right? We did this number of times and we are not doing this for the first time. Okay, let's start do this now again. So for this, again, of course, to find any element, find any web element before we try to locate this text box or just to find out that web element locator. So there are different locators, right? We had already discussed. We can locate with ID or with name or tag or with CSS selector or XPath. We can use any of this. Right now, I am choosing XPath to locate these text boxes. Okay. So what shall we do now? So we should apply some locating strategy here. So the strategy I'm choosing here is choosing a XPath strategy here. Locating strategy. I'm using what? XPath locating strategy to identify what? You can choose anything. It's not like we should use XPath. There are multiple locating strategies, right? Like ID or like name or like tag name or CSS selector or few more are there. You can choose whatever you want, but I am choosing XPath strategy to identify text box and button. So let's do that now. Okay, let's try to do that now. So here to find any element, simple. First thing is, you can just take here your code username equal to driver. Already driver is created, right? Driver dot find element. This method is common throughout our automation. So if you want to find any web element, so the method we need to choose in our code is a find element method, which is present in the driver class here. So we get it from the driver here, if you see here. Okay, so now here the strategy we are using is by apply by. By represents it helps us to choose strategy. We are implementing XPath strategy. Till this, it will be same for username box. Okay. Okay. These are let us create a skeleton before we apply the automation. Okay. Before we try to locate or identify these web elements in the login form. So second, password box. We need to find password box. So let's find that and assign to each of these variables. Once you find this, what is that you should do on username box dot, you should say send keys off. So here, what is the value you should pass to that password? I mean username box, the first box here. The value you have to pass is admin. Just pass it to the admin. Similarly, for the second password box, you should pass password as this one admin123. So these people gave us a sample, default username and password, and choose those. And you can use them to log into this login form. This dummy credentials, you can use them and you can just enter them and then submit. Then it will take you to the next page. So that's what you should do here. So I just copied this. So to password box, I should pass this admin123, this value. So I'm copying that. And in the code, what you do, so you try to use generally on text boxes or search box or anything. If you want to pass some value, then once you try to locate that particular web element and you get that assigned to this reference variable. On that web element reference, we call this send keys method. So the purpose of send keys is used to pass some value to text box or search box or any kind of boxes like this. I hope you are clear, friends. So that's why on this username box, we are using send keys and passing that username value which they gave here. Okay. And second thing is again we are trying to locate password box. And to that password box, what is that? We are trying to, of course, we have to pass pattern to locate that. But values already we are aware, so we are just setting those values before we go and locate this username text box or password text box. So, but I'm just giving you a skeleton like how to create automation code or steps to add in the code. Okay, so here also send key same thing, and then just pass admin123 as password. Then when you start automation into that username text box, this admin value is passed through automation, not manually. And again, into this is actually username I am using. Copy, just change this here into password box. Our automation script will pass this admin123. So this helps us to test this login form without any manual intervention. Okay, so that is the idea. But still, what is that? And one more thing. So button here you can choose button element. Okay, you can just add like this, and then for to locate any web element. This is how you have to just use the method is same to find any element in a web page. We have to use this find element from driver and then just apply the strategy, pass, choose which strategy you want to apply to locate that web element, and then just pass the pattern. Okay. But what I am doing is I'm just first I am trying to create a skeleton for my automation, because all this will be same except this what is this value here. So this pattern I should locate and pass it automatically. This code will first locate that web element and then try to assign that reference to this variable. And on that variable, we are saying send keys, which will pass value to that particular web element. Similarly, same strategy applied for second text box. Now we are trying to locate button. Same, and here also we follow the same process. But on button, the action we need to perform is not send keys. We perform. So here button element dot. We need to click on button. So the action we should perform and button is click here. So these are the steps we should follow when you are doing automation on a login form. What are those steps? First, locate username and then try to send keys to that, some value to that username box. Second, locate password and then what you have to do, try to send some password to that box, and then locate button and then click on button. So these are the steps we need to perform at code level. But still, this is not complete until we pass this XPaths patterns here. So this script won't be useful to us even if you run this now. So this will fail because it says like unknown no such element exception or something. We get an exception or some kind of error here. Okay, so let's go to the web page. Now let's try to locate this text box. How? Right click on this, inspect. The easiest way is you can go to this three dots and then you can choose like copy and then choose XPath. So this is one way, but I don't recommend that. This is too lengthy. So you can see here, this is too lengthy. The simplest way is you can simply try to create a dynamic locator here. Simply follow double slash and then right click on this, of course, first of all, double slash, this tag is input. So choose input and then what is it? This one only, right? Not this one. I think it changed again. Inspector. So here, if you see, we have here, so this is our tag, right? When we click on it, it tries to pick this. We have three, one, two, yeah, this one. This is our actual, if you see, when I try to select this, it is, when I try to hover on this, it is selecting that text box, means we should choose this one, this tag. So we try to create that start, and we try to choose the tag input, that is fine. And then now here we have to add some other filters to identify this particular text box. So here we can identify this. We can create XPath pattern either with the name. You can see here username. So let us apply username and see. So start this square brackets. Right? We had discussed how to create a pattern. So to create pattern, what you can test it in the inspect window itself. Okay. So this is the tag that is I did I mean locate I mean what happened to this? Just a minute, friends. Something. I think it has 1 minute. This is not our website, right? So okay, no problem. We can come from here. Let's come from here. Okay, that's perfect. Let's remove these values. Because of these values, what's happening is let me click on by mistake. If you click on button, it is moving to the next window. So we lost it. So no problem. So how do you locate this text box? Simply right click and then inspect. Find the tag that is pointing to this text box. You can see. Now we tried to filter it actually. Now come here, create XPath pattern for that. XPath by default start with double slash. And for this, right, the tag here used for creating text box is input. So choose the input text box. So the tag here. And then here, this 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 is not actually trying to, when I put my cursor here, it is not highlighting this text box. Means this tag is not creating this text box. So just move to another one. Yes, you can see now. Now when we put cursor here, so 1 minute, I think it has jumped again. So here inspect. So this is the one we made here. You can see here. When I put cursor on this tag, then that username text box is getting highlighted at the left side window. So for this, we have to create a pattern. So here pattern, you can choose attribute here. So first thing for XPath, we should always say the start of XPath double slash. And second thing, the tag input represents the tag which is used for creating text box. Third, we have to add few more filter options because we are having duplicate hits here. If you say input, if you just get one hit, then we can directly use that. But this pattern is giving duplicates. So we should not have duplicate hits and make sure we have a unique hit. So to make sure that we have unique hit, still we can choose attributes any here. So open square brackets and then at the rate name, you can choose this name attribute and then what you can do. So again, it's missing, right? No problem. So choose this value, copy this, and then pass it as a value to attribute now. Now you can see here. So when I try to filter by this attribute name, you are getting a unique hit here at the right side. Number of hits you can see one hit. Means this particular pattern helps us to locate or identify this text box uniquely. This pattern uniquely identify this text box. So right how to create this XPath simply. One thing is you can directly copy the ready-made pattern that is there provided by the inspect window. But you can see how lengthy this is, and also this is not a dynamic XPath. This is a static XPath. So suddenly you made some changes to your web page. Then again this has to change. But somehow this is somehow a standard one. More than this one. Right. This is a standard XPath so that even if somebody makes some changes, still locating this text box can be done in the same way. Right. So the other changes in the web page doesn't have big impact with this kind of XPath. So you create XPath like this. So you got clarity, right, friends? How to create an XPath pattern here. So it has to start with double slash and then this input tag here, right? The tag name, it's not input, the tag name, whichever for that web element, whichever whichever the tag it starts. So generally, some web element starts with some image, some starts with input, some starts with text area, some starts with some other tags. So that tag we have to mention here, and in the square brackets, still you can do filter. Still, if you find that if any hits, when if you have duplicate hits, you can filter it with more options. So for each tag you have attributes. Choose some attribute that uniquely identify this web element. So here I am choosing name because name uniquely identifies this text box. Okay. So, and in that square brackets, any attribute you have to represent with at the rate. So it might be name or it might be ID, it might be class, it might be tag, anything. You have to, if it is attribute, you have to represent with at the rate attribute name. Here the attribute is name, so I'm choosing at the rate name. And the value I have to pass here is username that I'm passing here. If it is ID, you should choose at the rate ID and the value associated with ID. If it is something else, you have to choose, if it is a class, you should choose at the rate class and the value associated with this. So now you can copy this pattern and then go to the code and then what here just remove that previous pattern, that static pattern, copy it from the inspect window. So that is the easiest way, but the problem with such patterns is they are not dynamic, they are static patterns. Any change in the web page, here you might change some web page tomorrow, then the static pattern just I have added a few minutes back here, so that won't be applicable here. It won't work. So in that case, we might get an exception saying no such element exception. So this is a dynamic pattern. Even if you make some changes, still this patterns doesn't have big impact. I hope this is clear. So now I am able to locate username. Next, let's locate password. Inspect. Same thing, but change what here instead of here we have type password and then name and name is password. We have two different and class is also there here. You can see here. So you can choose any of these three attributes to locate this password text box. I'm choosing this same thing, just changing here. So instead of value here to locate password box username, I'm changing it to password. So when I just replaced that username with password, still we have how many hits here? We have one hit. That itself it shows that this is a unique pattern. So you can copy this and add it to your code now here. And in the for XPath, you can see here. Similarly, locate button. So how do you locate? Right click on button and then inspect. And you can see here, this is your button tag. When I hover on this, here this button is getting highlighted. That means this is the tag that is pointing to that web element. So what should we do right now? You have to again, you can use here the, you have to make a slight change to your pattern now. Now this time the tag name is button here. So instead of input, what you should do, remove this and pass button here. Why? This tag starts with button. So you should also specify that this pattern should be starting with this button. The tag name has to be declared here. Whichever the tag name this particular web element is using, that tag name we should pass here in your XPath pattern. Double slash represents start. After that, you have to place, I mean, you have to add that tag name, right? And then attribute. What attribute we can choose here? See here, you can choose type submit. That should be better. Or else what else is there that uniquely highlights this? You can choose type submit. Okay. So the attribute here is at the rate type, and then what you can do here, pass submit. Sorry. Choose this type attribute to locate this button web element and pass this submit here. You can see now this is also, see now I created a pattern XPath pattern to locate button. And here it is highlighting this tag. And also when I put my mouse here, it is trying to locate this button here, right? So it means this is perfect. So I hope you are clear by now how to locate this button web element, right? So now what you do, now copy this here and then come to the code and add it here in place of value. So finally, we are able to locate text box, username text box, password text box, button text box, sorry, button, all these three web elements in the login form. So we are able to locate with these patterns and we tested all these patterns and we found each of these pattern is locating each of this element unique. So
Sir, one more.
sorry,
In future, like if we have like one more submit,
sorry.
like in future, if we have like one more submit button, that
Okay,
will be a problem. Like if we have a type submit,
correct.
or
So
better we can also concatenate with the text for this.
sorry, Naveen, I didn't get that. Okay, if you have
I mean,
multiple
we
sub.
can also use, yeah, if we have like one more button like to submit,
Okay,
maybe if there is any changes happens, then that will this will not work. I mean, it will be like the two matches will happen.
correct, correct. You might have a duplicate hit. That's what you are
Yeah,
saying.
yeah, yeah. So for this, what we can do, we can have on after submit contains text also we can pass login,
Okay,
so that will be more. Yeah,
you mean contains text, huh?
yeah. Even after submit,
Okay, you can see this
at the
is
rate type equals to at the rate type equals to submit is there, right?
yes, yes.
Before that square bracket, we can write and
Okay, you are saying here.
yeah, one more. Yeah, yeah. And
You are saying here. Okay,
yeah, and contains.
okay. You are giving inner text. I mean,
Yeah, yeah. Contains at the rate text of comma contains text of inside a parenthesis. After contains we have parenthesis.
okay. You mean square brackets are like
I don't
this.
know, just parenthesis.
This one, right?
Yeah,
Hmm.
yeah. So here text of comma login inside this one.
So this one, you mean
Yeah,
you
inside the
want
parenthesis. Inside the parenthesis.
what do you want me to add?
Text of. I mean txt.
Okay, 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 okay. I got
Yeah,
it.
yeah. Text of comma. Uh, that
This one,
login.
right?
Yeah, login. Login is there.
So login where
L
this one, you
caps.
this text,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, this one. Yeah, yeah, correct, correct.
So yeah, I mean you are trying to add. I mean more
Yeah, one
filter to
more.
this.
Yeah, yeah. That
One
login
more.
also should be in a single code.
Okay, but generally for a login page, we don't have this case, right, Naveen? Because
Yeah, yeah. I mean,
logins by login.
if there is any submit button in future happens, right? So that
Okay,
in such cases that happens. But this is like it will always match, even if they have any button with the type submit.
yeah, I got your point. Even in case of duplicate, still this will
Yeah,
unique.
still this matches with the unit. Yeah,
Yeah,
correct.
this will uniquely match that web element. So that's nice. So good. I will add this. Then let's have that contains as well, and then let's use it as
Yeah,
is.
and after login, I mean login should be in a single code.
Yes, after login, I didn't get
No,
that.
login should be in a single code. Like how we return submit, right? The same
Got
way.
it,
Yeah,
got it, got it. This is
yeah.
a subs. I mean, this is a string. It has to be in quotes. That's all,
Correct,
right?
correct, correct.
Okay. Perfect. Now is our pattern okay now? Then
There is
oh,
zero.
Yeah, it's
No, we lost the element.
so okay. After adding this quotes, we lost the element. Yeah, you can see it lost the hit. If we add, let me just remove quotes and see is it. Yeah, now it is locating. Means quotes. I think we don't need quote here. Seems like Naveen, because you can see when we have a pattern like this, it is able to locate that tag, and that tag is highlighting this one, right? Seems
okay.
like
I mean, inside single code, if you give, it will not give space, I guess.
Yeah, your case can be there, but I believe we don't need it. See, if you put like this, it's
Can you
not.
remove that remove that space
Yeah, this is
for the
working.
last?
We'll do one thing.
Yeah,
Let's try this.
yeah, okay.
Let's try this once. Let's test it, Naveen.
Yeah,
Later on,
okay.
if any error, then we'll try to R&D on
Yeah,
that. Okay.
yeah. Okay.
Okay, then let's do it. But anyhow, thanks for that. More. Thanks for adding that another layer to this. Okay. Now what we do? You asked me for button if you have something like this. Okay. So one choice is just locating button like this. That is one thing. And Naveen, Naveen's suggestion, we also added one more filter so that in future, if there might be any other buttons, so to avoid any conflict with the duplicate buttons, so we added that also apart from locating button, if it has login, then this particular login button has to be called. That is the meaning of this. Okay. So what we do after this, what we do is driver, sorry, time dot, let's apply some weighting for this. Of course, now we will add weights, implicit and explicit weights, but before that, until we discuss that topic and until we I mean complete that topic, we just use sleep till then. Okay, just 5 seconds. Let's our application sleep for 5 seconds, and then after that, what we do, driver dot apply quit, so that the whole application will be quit. So shall we run this now, this automation? So what we do is, so till this it's clear for all of you friends. I think we have Shankar and then Santoshi.
All
Yeah,
good. All good.
everything is clear, right? Each
Yeah,
and
it's clear.
every
It's clear.
step clear, right? Okay.
Yes.
So then shall I test this automation? And
Yes.
anyhow, before I test, special thanks to Naveen as well for adding a more deeper introspection. So let's run the automation. We started waiting for the browser to start. I'm giving a slight quick commentary so that it will easy help you to understand. So we are in the browser, we opened and then came to login form, and then of course, so what we should do is a small this thing here, copy this and put it in the middle, because if you once after we pass some value to one text box, and before we jump to the next text box, at least if we have some time, so that automation doesn't have any issues to switch between one web element to another web element. So I'm just adding this sleep of 5 here. Probably there is an error saying, oh,
Yeah, two square brackets are open at the end.
okay, let's fix that error now. So here one, I think I should close this as per this thing. Apart from that, everything should be fine. Let's rerun the automation. Nothing, that's not a big problem. Let's test it now. Yeah. So our web page opened, and then login form is brought up, and then so far no errors. Here in the code, we try to add username, attended password. Oh, submitted. It did submit for button. Finally, we move to the other page, and finally, automation is also closed up. Seems like no, it is closed now, and that page also should be closed by now. That particular one, which is that this uh, our web page, our website is closed. This HRM website is closed by now. I think we don't need codes here, Naveen. So this is
Yeah,
confirmed.
okay.
This is confirmed, but and adding this layer, this is helpful actually, right? So finally, you got
Yeah.
clarity. Yep. So this is a simple idea how to do automation on what here on a login form. Hope all of you are clear here, friends. Okay, then we will switch to the, so after doing this, all this, right? Login form automation. Let us switch to Another topic, automating checkboxes, automating radio buttons, all this. So to test that automation of checkboxes, all that, there is, I'll just trying to look for some website, random website. I got this one. This looks better. You can see here, this is the website I'm using. Volunteer sign up. This is the something. Somebody created it as a volunteering, like how we are doing these sessions. So this has all this web elements, this text boxes, and then this, I mean, radio buttons and check boxes, and then drop down list, and also this upload, file uploads, all this. I hope you are clear with all this now. So I am choosing this website for testing purpose, sir. So what we do right now? So you can use this if you want, and there are so many websites, not just this. So to do this, I mean, to test on this check boxes and radio buttons, there are so many. You can choose whichever you want. I think there is a website called Heruko app something. I should have that something like. Let me just open. I'll show you for you. Yeah, this one. Even this has a lot of web elements. This particular what is happening. Just a minute. The internet. You can copy this. Okay. And then come here and then copy this one. There is some latency. Just a minute, friends. It's having some problem. Okay. So then otherwise we can directly type it, no problem. So this is the one what we need. Copy this. Okay, and then remove this one and then paste it. All right. We are not able to copy. It seems like this the internet dot herukoapp.com. Okay. You can see here, this is the one. Okay. So this is opening Windows. Let's use. So this is the website. This has all testing we have all different web elements for testing. This is also a volunteering website. So to test this, which one? This you can find somewhere radio button here. Check boxes. We have check boxes here. To test check boxes, we can use this. To test radio buttons, we can use this. Where is it? Radio button. Somewhere you should have PQ or. Okay, somewhere I'll just. There are many. This guy should have given somewhere. I don't think there is radio button here. No problem. We can get it some different. You can choose any of this. No problem. I think I used radio button from here earlier. Just checking. 1 minute, friends. 1 minute, friends. Okay, no problem. We can use the other one. Not an issue.
Maybe drop down. In the drop down section, you might be able to see.
So drop down, huh?
Yeah.
Drop down. Let's click on this. This is only a drop down. Let us drag and drop has this. Okay. Form authentication. No. This don't have that. We can skip this. We can choose the other one. Not a big issue. There are many. We can use this one itself. Not an issue. Okay. So let's go with this. Not a problem. So what we do is let's test this automation on this checkboxes. So to do automation and checkboxes, what all basics we need to learn here is important. Okay. So what you do is just try to copy this and then we'll try to open this website first. This is not opening anything. Okay, no problem. What we can do, we can copy this. I think on this form site, we can dynamically create forms actually. I'll create few forms for our this thing, okay? So that it helps us for automation, okay? So now, for now, we can use this existing one. So what we do is we try to automate this checkboxes. There are so many checkboxes here. So our main goal is automating checkboxes. We have almost 7 checkboxes here. It's a good count for us for doing all different types of automation on this web elements checkbox. So we'll go slowly, no problem. If you want automate on any checkbox or radio button, what is that we need to know? So let's understand that. Let's open this one. So first thing is to deal with checkbox, we need to get some quick idea. What is it? Suppose you open this website or web page. So we already know this radio button or checkbox, the actions we perform. See, first we need to understand one is web element, second locating web element, third actions we perform on web element. So these things we need to understand. So I'm writing here so that you don't get confused. Okay, what I'm saying. Whenever you are playing with any web element, right? So when you are automating any web element, first you need to understand locating, how to locate that web element. So that is first thing. Locating web element is one thing. Right, that is one thing. Second thing, what else we should do on that? So next one is action. One more is applying action. What action we should perform on that web element? So that is one more important thing. So here on radio buttons and checkboxes, the action we need to perform is again here it is a select action here. We should generally what we say, we see whether that radio button is selected or not. People say this, or see whether this checkbox is selected or unselected. People use these words, general words, just leave about technical terms here. What people use whenever if you want to see if some items are, I mean, if they were selected or not. So if you want to select multiple items, we choose checkbox. If you want to select just between gender kind of thing or some pass or fail, some associated values, we use radio buttons. If you want a single select between two options, then we choose radio buttons. If you want multi-select, then you choose checkboxes. But the action we perform is here is a select or unselect. So these are the two actions we perform on radio button or checkboxes. Remember. So the important thing when you are doing automation on any web element is first thing is you should locate that web element, and then second thing action. We should understand what action we should perform on that web element. So action to perform. So these things are important. Now coming to checkbox, what are the actions we need to perform? Let me just show you. Suppose. So this can be coming from driver. See all these actions, right? When you say some driver dot, you can see here. Not driver. I believe we can apply it on that web element. So this won't come here. Sorry, driver don't have that quick. So what we do is let us try to use this element itself. Dot. You can see here is selected. Okay, so that itself shows that what is that? So this is an action we perform on this web elements. If it is selected or if it is, it should give us another option, unselected as well. Of course, the selected itself we can use in both ways by applying this, condition checks. I'll show you. So you can see on this web elements, these are all different methods we can apply, right? You can different actions we can apply, right? You can see here is selected, is enabled, is displayed, all this. But for checkbox and radio button, selected is the action which we need to implement. I hope this is clear. So now to handle this radio button and button, so the very important thing to perform is locating this web elements is something which we do it regularly. We do it every time, each time on every web element. Actions changes from web element to web element. By now you should be clear. If it is text box, generally on text box we perform send keys. This is the action we generally perform on text box. On button, generally we perform on button. Remember all this carefully, friends. We perform click action. And on radio button and checkbox, what is that? On checkbox and radio button, what is that we do? We perform select option action. What action we do on these two, right? What is the action we perform? Let's remember this. This is very helpful. We perform select. And to know whether it is selected or not, the method they use in the code is selected. It is a very general, it's in general English. It's not something really a complex English. To understand these things, this method is itself self-explainable methods. These are self-explainable methods. Okay, so that is it. Fine, no problem. Now let us start the automation. So this time we are doing automation of checkbox and radio button. So what we do is let's create a new program for this, new automation program for this. Okay, so what I do is for checkbox and this one, let us name it as a checkbox and radio button automation. Okay, let's do this. Other steps I told you, right? As discussed, there is some error. Remove this. Now you don't have any errors in the code. So these steps are same we had discussed. Till this copy and then paste it. If someone is watching this, this for first time, so you can go back to the start of the sessions and understand why we are importing all this. Okay. So now what shall we do now? So change the URL. The URL we are using for this automation is this one, something like so this one, copy this. I got it from websites. I mean from the Google while trying to use for our session. I got it from a random place. That's all. If you ask me, where did you get this? Right now, this is the sample page we are okay. Web page we are using for automation. It has checkboxes and radio buttons. Along with that, it too has text boxes, drop down list, and few more. If you want, you can use them as well. It's up to you. But let's use this web page to do this checkbox and radio button automation. So what we are doing now. First, we start with checkbox automation. Very interesting. Just try to understand this carefully. So what do you do right now? Checkbox automation. So first thing, what shall we do now? If it is a checkbox or radio button or any other web element, the first thing is always what is that you should do? We should do here, friends. So sorry, Shankar, you are saying something.
Inspect and get
Yeah.
the.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's all right. So you can also, yeah, I mean, you can also keep giving inputs. So now we are dealing with checkbox, right? So what you have to do on any of this, just right click and say always what we should do. We should do inspect as you know. So when you say inspect, you can see here. So this is the tag that is pointing to that. So the label one. So now what should you can expand it if you want. There is nothing here except label. So the label is checkbox here. So just a minute. So what you have to do, let's create a filter to locate this. How to create a filter? There are so many labels here. All these are labels. So just a minute. Again, let's check for Monday as well. Label result checkbox 8_1 8. So this is actually distinguishing. This is uniquely. This fur is giving us a unique this thing. Let's try to create pattern and test to locate this each of these checkboxes. What do we do? If it is XPath, double slash, and then it starts with label, and of course inspect this. Which one? Not this. So inspect and check. Use this value. This one. This. What is it? Result checkbox 8 something. So and here the attribute they were using at the rate for, let me test it. So equal to in single quotes, add this here and then close this one. I think this is working fine. See, when I try to create XPath pattern, double slash represents start of XPath, the label represents the tag that is pointing to this checkbox or that is creating checkbox. And this square brackets, inside square brackets, we are trying to filter with attribute for more, for the going drilling down deeper into the filtering. So we applied for as attribute, and then to that we are assigning value. This is a standard approach how to locate XPath. So in that square brackets, you have to use the attribute patterns here or attribute values here in the form of key and value pairs. At the rate attribute equal to some value. So here the attribute you can see here it is for. So we choose at the rate for and then equal to, and the value associated with the attribute is this one that we are passing here. Once we create this whole pattern, what's happening? We are getting a unique hit. When you have a unique hit means this pattern looks good and fine. So you can copy this and take this to your this thing. But before that, so we used pattern to identify that web element. We created pattern to identify web element in your inspect window. That is fine. From your inspect window, that is fine. But at code level, to locate any of these checkboxes or radio buttons or text boxes, all this, what is that you should do? This is quite recurring thing we are doing since the beginning of Java automation or Python automation, whatever it is. So what is that you should do? This maybe you can choose with name Sunday checkbox. So Sunday box or Sunday element, you can say anything is fine. Sunday element equal to. So to locate this checkbox, the method we should use in Python is something like driver dot, what is it? Find element. And the strategy we are using here is a by dot XPath. You can choose anything of your choice. Element, sorry, driver dot find element. Inside this, what's that I should use? By dot XPath. Okay, comma in single quotes or double quotes. Copy the pattern which we created to locate this first checkbox. Similarly, yes, Naveen. Hello. Somebody is saying something.
Yeah.
Naveen, your voice. I am missing your voice. There is some blur
Here,
in voice.
8.0 and all these things are there, right? So these are all
Hmm.
like they're not the proper one. So there might be changes, these values,
I agree.
8.0 and all.
Maybe down
Yeah,
the
we
line
can
you
use that text itself directly. Sunday,
if
Monday. So we have the text, right? Sunday.
correct this one. Okay.
Yeah, we
Then
can use
then
that.
we
That is the better.
okay then. So let's follow that.
And yeah,
Then
so
we
we
can
can have
say
like
got it.
normalized space. We can use. Text up
Text
also we
equal.
can use, or else we can also use one more attribute called normalized space.
Oh,
That
okay.
will also be.
Just a minute. Let me apply that. Let me
Yeah,
apply that.
normalize.
Normalize that.
Yeah, normalize hyphen space.
Normalize.
Normalize.
hyphen
space, SPACE,
space. You
space,
mean?
yeah, space of, yeah, those two parentheses, open and close.
Yeah. This is something which is used to uniquely pick this.
Yeah, normalized. Yeah, it's same way like text off, but in real time, most of the times this normalized space will be used.
Okay, then let's apply the
Normalized
same.
space, yeah, parenthesis open and close equals to
Uh,
in single quote something.
okay, like test, we should apply this. I got
Yeah,
it.
yeah, same way like text. This is also, yeah.
Perfect. So this is something a new edition. Again, it's a enhanced learning what we call. Okay, thank you, Naveen. So Shankar and Santoshi, I think you got some idea, right? What Naveen is saying is, I hope you got what is the addition here. So instead of text, there are multiple ways to locate this checkbox. One is with text option. We already discussed that and we implemented it. And because Naveen is using, he is also regularly implementing this automation more than me. He generally do lots of automation. So for that, the more recommended one is normalized space to choose some text I mean some text from tag here. So Sunday is the tag text here, which helps us to locate this checkbox. So he is asking to choose instead of this attribute for. Okay, which attribute for attribute. Better use this text so that if somebody adds tomorrow, maybe the number of check boxes might increase due to some need and necessity. At that time, they might change this, I mean, this value. So in such cases, there might be possibility of automation failing. So if you use this text, usually people don't change because this stays with the checkbox itself. So this will always stay same. So any change in the web page doesn't have any impact with our pattern. So using normalized space is the one of the best choice to locate some text, some web element with some text. So that is the idea. Uh, Now what I'm doing. Thanks, Naveen, again. So you are.
Yeah, and one more thing is,
Yep.
yeah, instead of the tag names label, sometimes those things also will be changes randomly.
So you
So
mean
we
you
can
want me
use
to
star.
put
Yeah, we
asterisk?
can use star. Yeah, correct.
You want me to put
Okay, but
asterisk?
this matches with three. Okay,
Yeah.
yeah, for this case, it matches with three.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
have
we can.
three.
Yeah,
So in such case, should we go with indexing? Should we prefer indexing or what?
yeah, no. Suppose if this is happens, like we can also try with the sibling related concept.
Okay. I mean this what we call ancestor
Yeah,
or
ancestors, correct,
predecessor or
correct.
successor, something what we
Yeah,
call.
correct. So following sibling, preceding siblings.
Okay,
Yeah,
I
those
got
things we
it.
can. Yeah.
Okay. So so generally how you people use in your automation, you apply asterisk instead of
Yeah,
label.
like most of the times we generally use as string because these
Mhm.
tags will keeps on changes. Like whenever
Okay.
the Angular version changes, or if they like try to upgrade to Boots or something like the front end applications like Bootstrap or some Angular 627 or some versions got changed. So there might be chances of changing the tags as well as per
Okay.
their requirement. So the time
Okay.
our test cases will find.
Okay. So we should add some ancestor or predecessor kind of thing. Okay.
Yeah, those kind of to make this unique, even though like the UI is upgrade happens, like the Angular version upgrade happens.
I got it. I understand now. So in that case, what we should do, let me just open our this thing related to predecessors and successors. We have this thing I added. Yeah.
Yeah, as of now it's fine. I think maybe the next you'll be able to cover it. So those things. Yeah.
Okay, that should be fine. I'll do one thing. I'll
Yeah.
prepare a few use cases to cover these kind of scenarios with. Anyhow, I'll talk about this. What is it? The successors. You can see here, right? Sibling, preceding sibling, succeeding sibling, all this, right? Third, going to ancestor. This is there. We'll talk about it. When we talk about it, we'll try to embed all that into your scenarios. Okay. So these are all concepts of what Naveen is saying, Shankar and this thing, following sibling, preceding sibling, child and ancestor. So this also helps to implement this automation in more dynamic way. That's all. Well, I'll talk about it. No issues. Okay. So fine. But now for now, what we do is we will stick to this. We can just instead of, but I think you got idea, right? When we have duplicate hits like this, more than choosing tag directly, better the more enhanced version is applying asterisk. Yeah, that so that is the one thing. But for now, we can go with this approach. Okay, slash label something when you can remove this. So you got a hit here. For now, you can choose it. I'll come up with the more scenarios with more dynamic patterns to use in the code. Okay, and okay, let's add label here. Because again, what you have to do when you have multiple hits for the same pattern, again, we should filter it by choosing for this actually the first one itself, right? So here it should be the following. We can choose something following what preceding sibling or this. Either we can apply this preceding sibling or following. I'll check and come back. That would be more better for us more than. Okay, you choose for now. Choose label here for now. Later on, we can add that other more enhanced patterns for applying this.
Yeah. So if you want to use the following sibling, what we can do here, double slash input checkbox is the right in the DOM.
Correct. So shall I?
Yeah,
So
checkbox. Yeah, we can also use that. I mean, in the Chrome, the application.
So what you are saying? We should say slash.
Yeah, EL before no, not here at the beginning. At the beginning, we can have double slash input type equal to checkbox.
Input type equal to. Okay, you are starting from the this one.
Yeah.
You are coming from the start. This is the input checkbox. Okay.
Input. Yeah, type equal to checkbox, and for that we can do a following.
Okay, you mean input type
Input,
is we should apply attribute, right?
At the rate type equal to checkbox.
Okay, let's do that then. So let's copy and paste that here. Okay, then here.
So then colon following hyphen sibling. After checkbox, we have
we have to
following,
close the bracket.
double slash, and then following sibling colon.
Okay.
Yeah, double slash and then following sibling.
1 minute. I'm copying from here. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, here you can.
Yeah, following sibling colon star we can be.
Yes.
Star or label. Yeah, that is following sibling.
Single slash only, right?
Yeah, single slash or double slash, anything we can use. Yeah. Colon star.
Colon.
Yeah, this is also matching now. Even now we can remove that label. We can have star.
I got it.
Yeah, so even input also like the same way. That input also we can remove. We can put it star.
Okay.
At the beginning.
So this is
still it matches with one. Yeah. Perfect. Now it's not depending on any tags.
Okay, but still. So just a question because you are already doing it regularly. Still,
yeah. Instead of single slash, we can use double slash so that like Sunday, Monday, whatever values we can change, they will bulk back. After checkbox, we have only single slash, right? That matches with the immediate child.
Okay, if you put this one, what happens?
Yeah. So now if you change instead of Sunday, the value got changed to Monday. For that also this export works. Sunday, Monday or whatever.
Okay. Got it. I got it. Okay. Perfect. So now, so this is a dynamic pattern, which will automatically doesn't depend on any tag and automatically picks up the web element. This is fine. But in some cases, still we need to use that tags, right? So
Yeah, yes, yes.
some
Yeah,
scenarios still we
few
need to
cases
use.
we can use this label. Yeah, label div, maybe some other things. Maybe like once it got changed, there might be chances of
Hmm.
uh, like filing of the test cases.
Okay, okay. So anyhow, so I'll talk anyhow. Maybe for Shankar and Santoshi, these are all something which is again, if you are creating pattern one tag before, one tag after, there is something in our I mean Selenium. What is it? This following siblings or preceding siblings or child or parent or something like this. So this helps traversing between tags in a dynamic way. So that's what we have created here. I hope you understood this. If you don't understand, nothing to worry. What you can do, we can discuss this topic. What we call this sibling topic, or this one. This is the topic for that. What is this? The hierarchy, XPath hierarchy with all these different kind of tags like parent, ancestor, child, or following sibling, or preceding sibling, all this stuff. Okay, just an idea. But before I continue, do you understand this, Shankar and Santoshi? Did you get this? What we added here?
Yeah, yeah, that's good.
No,
Thank
no
you.
confusion, right?
No,
Yeah,
that's
no
clear.
confusion.
Okay, this is something which locates this checkbox, which is Sunday. So then maybe similarly, you can locate multiple checkboxes. So all different checkboxes. Suppose the same thing we can choose just with some small changes. Just copy and paste it. Okay, what you can do is otherwise there is another way. What is that? If all checkboxes have a this one, what is it? If you want to locate all checkboxes in one go, instead of saying find element, we can have something called find elements. That find elements helps us to locate all checkboxes, and then we can iterate one by one, and then we can validate that. That is also one more way. First, of course, we'll go one by one. Maybe it will. I don't want to confuse you now. I'll do little. We will fine tune this again, and we'll simplify this so that you also have that clarity. Now, what I am doing, I'm going with a little, what shall we say, little lengthy process. We are trying to look at each checkbox one by one by using these patterns. Here, we should change only the value here. That's all. Only the value. That's all. Okay. Other than that, all these tags says this. I mean, remains the same. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and two more I'll add. Uh, in the tomorrow session, I'll try to fine tune this instead of having these many tags. So how can we handle all this with single tag, with single this thing? Okay, we check that as well. Sunday, this is what Monday element. This is Tuesday element. Okay, this is Wednesday element. WED and then this is Thursday element. This is Friday element, and this is Saturday element. Okay, so that's it. Now what we do is let's make some changes here. Copy these values, whatever we have here. I think this we can copy from here. Mm. It's getting highlighted here, so you can copy under this label. Copy Monday, put it here, and then Tuesday. I'll type it directly because this tags, right? Start letter is capital, others are small. Let's just type it to locate. Okay. So the same thing. The location is same, but only thing that changes is that I mean text changes with each checkbox. We are just changing that here. This one is Monday, TUES, Tuesday, and then this one WEDNES, Wednesday. Then next one is THU, is Thursday. And then Friday, and then Saturday. So this is how you need to look at all this. I hope you are clear, friends. Okay. Hope you are clear. So this you can leave it like as is, no problem. So what we do right now? Yeah, maybe if you want, you can add day for each one. That's fine. But these are all just user defined. You don't need to. It is not must to have day in each of these references. Okay, just an idea. Friday element and then Saturday element. All this. Okay, save this. So this is locating. Now what we have to do? So we have to perform some action. When we run the automation, each of this should select it. Then in that case, what we can do, either we can add that selection here itself. What is that? Please say on this dot, what we can do is, so one is applying click. When you say click, it will automatically select that. And if you want to check if it is selected or not, then you can still, you can apply a small check here. Let me just show you now. Print off. So is selected, just showing you. Right, is checkbox selected, just to show you. Later on, I'll simplify this. There is so much of learning here. If you in this is a kind of small project, so you can have multiple scenarios to play with your automation. It's a good learning as well. Is checkbox selected? Just adding that. Okay, to know if checkbox is selected or not, what you do is maybe if you want, you can add something. If it is selected or not, you can put that. Then format of what you do. Sunday element dot. You can see here is selected, and this gives you a Boolean value. Boolean is true or false, right? If it is selected, it returns true. Else it returns false. That's it. Okay. First, understand this. Later on, we'll add more dynamism to this code. Okay. So this is more of little lengthier thing, just testing. So this is the web element. Locating web element should be clear for us, no doubt about that, because it's very detailed discussion between me and Naveen. That is one thing. Second thing, all these methods are well familiar to all of us. We are using since our Java automation with a small slight changes. That's all. And here, this is one thing. First thing. Next, similarly, you can play with remaining. Okay, same thing. Copy and paste it for Monday as well. And then you can do what? CLECAT. Okay. Small typo. That's all. That is okay. That is common. That doesn't have big impact. Okay. And then Monday element. You can copy this and then paste here. Again, I am not doing anything. This code looks too big for you, but just copying same thing again and again. So more of, see, in these kind of cases, we should not write code here like this. We have to use functions. I'll show you that if you want as well. We don't write in a real automation. We don't try to write code like this. We add functions for all, each of this. We break down all this code into functions. I'll show you that as well. Checkbox, and then here instead of Monday, what you can do, put here Tuesday, put here Tuesday, here also instead of Monday, put here. Okay, and then similarly copy remaining. Paste after Wednesday, paste after Thursday, paste after, I don't know why this is coming, Friday, and then paste after Saturday. So I'm making few more changes to this. I'm giving you this half cooked code. If you want, you can also make changes on this. I'm just pasting in the chart box. If you wish, you can take this code and make changes along with me. So, or if you are parallelly working with me, it's a good thing. So what you should do again, Wednesday thing, you should make change here. Just change this Wednesday, Thursday thing, you should change Thursday, Thursday. Interesting, right? I'm just asking question, random question. Is it interesting, Shankar, Santoshi? Of course, Naveen is he's already into that.
Yeah, in the learning, I think initially it is interesting because we type and learn. But as you said, once we mature, naturally we should have some cut shots, like the smartest way of writing code in lesser number of lines
Correct.
and then logics. Yeah, this is interesting now because it gives me a practicing line section, writing and then validating.
Correct. So fine tuning, we'll see this the same thing. I'll show you how to break down into functions, how to just simplify this code and make it more dynamic. Add little dynamism to this. We'll see step by step. Okay. So now finally, time dot sleep of 5. Add this time dot sleep after every checkbox so that you understand that how it's going on step by step. So like this, you understand how. So this helps you to go step by step, and every line gives you an idea what's happening at each checkbox. But in real time, we don't need like this. Okay, we can simplify this by using find elements instead of find element. I will show you that option as well. So and meanwhile, Naveen also can add few more inputs to us, tips. He can share tips to make it more robust automation. Robust means more strong automation. So this is all. I added 5 seconds after each one. I don't think 5 is not needed. What you can do is just change it to, because 5 means it becomes too much waiting for us. Okay, just add 2 seconds. 2 seconds. Just change it to 2 seconds so that we don't need to wait for automation moving from one checkbox to another checkbox slowly. So now we are good. Finally, what you do is for last one, you can put 5 and then finally driver dot, you can say quit. It will quit it. Okay. Shall we run this automation now? So I think we are good. We created a very good this thing for this to locate each checkbox, and we are actually applying methods on checkbox. That is whether the select is happening or not. And if whether it is selected or unselected, we are blindly doing this selection. But in reality, we should validate. If it is selected, we should ignore. If it is not selected, we should select. That's how we have to do automation. Okay. But for now, just it is the very beginning intro for checkboxes. I'm just going with this thing. Okay. Automation. Let's now run this now. Right click, run this automation. So web browser started, our website loaded, and now you can see here it should start selecting. Yes, checkbox 1 selected, 2 selected, Monday selected, Tuesday selected, Wednesday selected, Thursday selected, Friday selected, Saturday selected. At the same time, it is for the first time it is showing it is false. Somewhere some error is there. For what? The error is with unable to locate.
Yeah, Saturday expert is gone.
Okay, I got it now. We didn't modify that one, Saturday one.
Yeah, I think so because I thought you said
There is
the
a
one with
typo.
leave
Typo.
is fine.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there is a typo here. Yes. Now rerun this. Nothing. I think by now you understood. This will also work for now. So let's run it. So now you can see automation started, web page loaded, and then our checkboxes getting selected one by one by automation itself. Okay, we are still good to Friday and till good till Saturday. Now we don't have any errors. So after 5 seconds, this will close, this window close because we applied driver.quit. And for first time, you can see before we did click, we are saying is selected and is selected is showing false because this is what action we should check always when you are working with radio button or this checkbox. If it is selected, then you should ignore it. You should not go and again do click on that. If you do click on selected one, it becomes unselect again. You got my point, friends? Suppose you see this is selected, right? Again on the same after 2 seconds. Okay, if you try to click on it, what it does, I'm just doing a random test, monkey test in here, but I just want to show you. That's all. If not this one, let me show you for the first one, so you get some idea. What if you click on the selected checkbox? Let us see. Run this now. Let me show you. So automation started. This is selected. After 2 seconds, it got unselected. Can you see there? When I click on it again, it's selected. I'm sorry, it's unselected. I hope you are clear now. Understood? So that's what happens when you click on already selected one. Clear now, friends? This is a simple idea about what is it? About checkbox automation. This should give you some deeper introspection. Also, this helped us to enhance our understanding on this locator strategy here, adding more dynamism to the pattern. So how it exactly should be the pattern, the importance of adding asterisk instead of labels, all that should be clear for you, friends. And thanks again, special thanks to Naveen. So tomorrow what we do, we simplify this. We make it more simple. We reduce the number of lines of code. We add more dynamism to this. So that is actually very much needed. Maybe we can break down this into functions as well. That is one more thing we need to add. We'll see one by one. Okay. So shall we stop here for today? This is all for sharing and then stop recording. Okay.